All right, so Knowles, Knowles was going to give a speech called "A Man Is Not a Woman," and this controversial speech got him attacked. Do we have the video of his attack?
Well, it's very difficult to use my platform when people use the heckler's veto to try to shut up any opinion that disagrees. I didn't think I was this intimidating. I believe that gentleman just threw paint on me.
So, first of all, welcome back.
Hey,
I'm glad you're all right. That actually ticked me off. I got to be honest with you. You and I are going to give Texas A&M, right? We're going to give a joint speech, and I want you to know that I will use you as a human shield.
I think it ticked you off because you saw it was a harbinger of things to come. So I'm speaking with this guy in 3 days.
I thought I paid that guy enough to really douse you with that stuff. Darn it. Good help is hard to make. What on earth? First of all, I cannot believe the reaction from the school.
The reaction from the school was outrageous.
Yeah.
So what we heard the next morning from the chancellor of the university, Molly Agrawal, I expected some sort of apology. I'm sorry that an invited speaker had to face this. No. He began by smearing me as some sort of bigot because I said that men are not women.
You SOB.
Monster. Then he said that my stated opinion does not go along with the school's commitment to diversity and inclusion, which is very funny. Because I said that there is a diversity of sexes. There are men and there are women.
Right, exactly.
And he said it doesn't go along with diversity.
That everybody's the same.
Everybody's the same.
Yeah.
And then he said that my opinion was extreme, that men are not women. So he smears me as a bigot. The part that really got me, though, I expected that from a leftist idiot administrator.
Yeah.
The part that really got me is he said that the protesters in the room behave just delightfully.
They're screaming when the guy comes in.
From the very minute that I came on,
Yeah.
they are screaming like banshees. You can't really hear it that well in the video. People in that room could not hear my lecture.
Yeah.
They came up to me after, they said, I hope that you recorded the audio because I couldn't hear it in the room. They screamed nonstop for about 20 minutes until they got up and then one of them sprayed me with some strange smelling chemical.
It is just bizarre, and all they do is complain about what victims they are. Like I was just talking on the show about Ilhan Omar, I'm such a victim and all this. The only people who ever get attacked are people wearing MAGA hats and you and like Ben and
They put it actually in this missive they sent out. They said, we're going to have a walkout in the first 10 minutes of Knowles' talk, but it has to be a silent walkout, or else you're putting transgender people at risk.
Huh?
Meanwhile, yeah, I don't quite understand how that, but then meanwhile, one of their activists came in and squirted me with some weird smelling substance. Luckily, it wasn't, initially we heard it was paint, then we heard it was bleach, then we found out it was some non-toxic assembly of chemicals.
So what were you going to say?
I mean, I was going to say the most outrageous and radical statement you can imagine. This talk has been portrayed in the media as an anti-transgender talk.
Right.
Now, of course, they don't know whether it was or not because I never got to give the talk, even though they said that there were all these lines. The talk itself is about the evolution of gender ideology, how we got to the point that the statement, men are not women, has to be defended. If you took a time machine back 5 years ago and you told someone that it would be a controversial topic to say that men are not women, they would laugh in your face.
Right.
But somehow, in the last 5 years or so, this has become the central, most controversial statement you can make. And this owes a lot to the development of gender ideology over the last 20 years, the intersectional ideology, and to the rise of second wave and third wave feminist ideologies. Yeah. Ironically, of course, this new evolution to say that there is no such thing as men or women is not an advancement for the gender ideologues. What it does is actually destroys the categories.
Lesbians complain about it because they say to be a lesbian is to be a woman attracted to another woman. That's the definition of being. If there's no women, what are you?
Feminists complain about
feminists
it too.
Of course.
There was a feminist woman, Megan Murphy.
You notice that no matter what happens, the women get the short end.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how this always seems to happen. There was a woman who's the editor of the Feminist Current, a Canadian feminist journal, Megan Murphy.
Okay.
She was banned from Twitter for hateful conduct because she said men are not women.
Really?
And what is feminism? Feminism is a terrible ideology, but on its own terms, feminism is the exploration of what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a wife and a mother and a single woman from the perspective of women.
Right.
And what is the transgender ideology? It is defining womanhood from the perspective of men. It is the literal inversion of decades and decades of feminism.
It's also the level at which I think there are some interesting questions that you can ask about gender, where it starts, where, how much of it is nature, how much of it is cultural. All those things are things that intelligent people can converse about. But this idea that you should be shouted down for saying men are not women, it is this thing about finding anything to make you feel that you are in a fight for justice.
Yes.
Nobody's in a fight for justice in this country. There may be two guys who were arrested by the wrong, for a wrong crime, who are in a fight for justice, but there's nobody who's being oppressed in this country.
Well, this is what I told this gaggle of mostly white liberals, because it's always white liberals.
It's always white liberals, I know.
They start screaming at me and F you, and as they were walking out, I said, I know you're so terribly oppressed. I know your life is so hard. You have to live in the freest, most prosperous country. You have to attend a beautiful university. You have to go to lectures voluntarily. You're so oppressed. And they screamed back at me with the earnestness of a maniac. They said, I am oppressed.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I noticed in the video, this guy comes in and he takes a shot at you, right? And the cops do what they have to do. They wrestle him down. They don't know what's in that jar, right? They want to go home to their wives and kids. So they wrestle him down and they start screaming, hands up, don't shoot. So the whole thing, so wait, I mean, hands up, don't shoot, something nobody ever said, right? It was a complete hoax to begin with.
Completely made up.
Right. And this is the attacker. He's the assaulter. So it's like a complete fantasy world they're living in where they're oppressed because somebody was stopped from attacking you.
That's exactly right. He's got this, and by the way, the attacker, I should point out, he sprayed me with a non-toxic substance. Right. He clearly intended it to be interpreted as a dangerous chemical.
Right.
That's why it had a very strong smell. That's why it had a very strange color to it. And that's clearly what the police thought was going on as well. Luckily, they were so professional, they took him out within seconds. And then because he failed, because one, he didn't have a hazardous chemical, and two, he wasn't even able to spray his hoax chemical.
Right.
They claim victimhood again. They actually said, the Kansas City Star sent out a piece the next day. They said, the protester probably wanted to be attacked. Then they quoted a bunch of students. I kid you not.
You, not the protester.
I'm sorry,
the speaker wanted to be.
The speaker wanted to be attacked.
That's like you wore a short skirt, so you deserve to be raped. That's
I was asking for it.
Yeah, wow, that is wonderful.
That's what they said. Wow. The students came out and they said, this speaker targeted our school because he wanted to make us look bad.
Yes, which they made it easy.
They did. They sure did. By the way, I was invited to the school. I didn't say, please, please, University of Missouri, Kansas City, let me fly to the middle of the country, please, to give a speech.
That's unbelievable. This is, I mean, and really, like a newspaper attacking free speech. It's like, can they not think far enough ahead? It's like the Japanese joining the racist Nazis in World War II. Like, could they not think far enough ahead to think maybe yellow people shouldn't join white supremacists? I mean, who do they think they'll come for next? I mean,
this is the issue. The editor of that paper, the Kansas City Star, is a guy named Mike Fannin. The chancellor of the university, a guy named Molly Agrawal. The same principle that Mike Fannin is exhibiting, Molly Agrawal does, which is, if you're not going to defend the exchange of ideas on campus, what do you think is next for your university?
Right.
What do you think you're doing?
Yeah, and what happens when you have a guy who writes an op-ed in your paper who doesn't agree with it? What are you talking about on the show?
So I'm going to be giving a history of violence. Now, I mean, I'll recap. I can go into a little more detail exactly what happened, but then I want to put it into the broader context of the incitements to violence. Because as far as I can tell, the only guy in the last 3 days who someone tried to attack is me.
I know.
And they're saying Ilhan Omar. They're saying this person and that person. And the conflation of speech with violence is at the core of it here, and we're going to talk about how that came to be.
And as you know, we feel here at the Daily Wire that only Shapiro and I get to attack you in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, I'm glad you're all right. I mean, seriously, it really did bug me that they allowed it to happen. And the fact that they're not standing up for you, even people who disagree with you, is like a violation of American ideals.
Well, that's
even I'm standing up for you. I can't stand you.
And I'm so honored by your saying that. I cannot wait to be your human shield tomorrow night at Texas A&M.
That's all I ask. I'm not. All right.